Hi, Rigsters here, back with another World of Warships video. Per user's request, I'm going to be covering on my much more active World of Warships EU region, the French Tier 9 cruiser Carnot. I jokingly sometimes call it the Carnot because it's not a car. I mean, it's a boat, not a car. This cruiser is definitely one of the harder ones to play in the game. It also has serviceable secondaries. With everybody always talking about secondaries, well, this is a cruiser that on occasion can actually use secondaries that are actually workable. With the 139s in particular, or the crazy 100s that fire like crazy but don't pen, but they definitely fire a lot, 3 seconds, it's pretty good. The main guns themselves are actually very good. The initial velocity on the HE in particular is off the charts bonkers at 905 meters a second, while the armor-piercing shells for the main gun are significantly faster than the Alaska at a whopping 870 meters a second. They rely more on speed to do penetration than angles, so with the equipment I put on this ship, it's a main battery build. We want to make sure you have engine room protection because the rudder does get knocked out because it's French. You want aiming mod 1 for more accuracy for the main guns and to increase the secondary range just a little bit by 5%. Faster rudder shift time is the most useful one you could do. Optionally, you could do damage con mod 2, but since it's a maneuvering ship, you really want faster rudder shift. And it's a big ship too. You absolutely must put on concealment mod 1. This is not a lighthouse cruiser, it's not a high DPM cruiser, it's a like a alpha strike cruiser, so you want to be concealed, go in and out, but if you're really crazy, you can put steering gears here and make that work and do double rudder. But in practice, concealment is much more of a friend. I personally prefer main battery mod 3 for faster rate of fire. You could increase the range, but the range is 18.6, and with the captain skill and concealment module you're 12. I'd rather have faster rate of fire, which reduces the reload to a more reasonable 22 seconds. For consumables, I rarely had the need for hydro. Defensive AA is really silly on this ship because you have so much AA damage at medium range, so you can make more use of that. There is no point in putting fighter. Never put fighter on this ship. You could argue that you could use spawning aircraft, but I find that to be pretty much useless for this ship. Engine boost or nothing is my personal opinion on this ship, because that's the whole point of the ship, is to go fast, and you take away a consumable that makes it go faster, and might as well play a different ship, because that's not what it does. Repair party is normal at 332. The captain for 10-point build, I put grease to gears, or 12-point, whoops. I always get confused at 10 or 12. Gun feeder or grease to gears. I'd recommend grease to gears after you get gun feeder, because sometimes you do want to switch rounds depending on the situation, and you have to wait till it's, of course, fully loaded. It's very useful. Priority target is the most useful level 2 skill, followed by either focus fire training. You could do demo expert, but you're not using your main guns all the time to set fires, but if you have issues with that, you could do demo expert. That's another good choice. Adrenaline rush is mandatory. You get that first, and then if you want, superintendent is a viable option, or heavy AP shells. So either of these three right here are the most useful for this cruiser. Survivability expert is bugged still. I would not recommend taking that, but most cruisers don't really benefit a lot from that, except for the light end ones anyways. Heavy HE and SAP is very situational. It's not a lighthouse, so don't even bother with that. Concealment Expert is absolutely mandatory on this ship. All the other level 4 ones are optional, except for maybe AA Defense Expert. Or you could do, let's see here. You could optionally consider Top Grade Gunner. That also could be a useful skill, but only after Concealment Expert. Don't even bother with Outnumbered. That to me is very situational skill perk. I've already seen people take it. Yes, they recommend it. No, I don't think it's useful as they think it is. So with that, let's slap this ship onto the match here. For signals, since it's a premium ship, the only flag you really need to make it even more effective is Sierra Mike. Optionally, the secondary flag or Echo 7, Seattle 7? Man, say that 10 times fast. That's also a good flag to put on. I've not been detonated in this ship, so this is completely pointless, but if you feel like you're going to get detonated, you can slap that on. It's not useful, but you can put it on if you want. And with that, let's go to the match. We got an all tier 9 match in the Carnot. The map is Haven. It looks like there is a ton of destroyers, especially Kitakazes. Holy moly. So, this ship's role is really a cruiser killer. You don't really want to brawl or go in against most battleships, even though it is a heavy cruiser. Buffalo is a priority target outside of all of these Kitakazes. The HE on the ship is actually very good. Since it flies so fast, you can actually kill within reason destroyers at a decent clip. I'm going to position myself around, let's see here, F9 area. I want to be near ships. Obviously, you don't want to be the first one in on this boat. And this ship is massive. I mean, this makes some battleships cry in a quarter of how long it is. I mean, I'm almost as big, if not slightly bigger, than a Georgia, which is a mediocre battleship, outside of speed and secondaries. The reason why I say it's mediocre is because at one point in time, it was more serviceable, but nowadays, it's meh. And what's a good ship? Jutland. That is a good destroyer. It's a good cap contester. It's still meta effective. Marco Polo is not. What Deadeye was a skill in the game, which increased your main battery dispersion by a certain condition. It was okay, but now since that's gone, I'm even surprised that person's even bothered to play it. Pommern is one of the few good German battleships in the game. It is a coal ship, or you can buy it in some servers. You can actually buy it for doubloons. Save up for coal if you really want it. I would not spend money on it. It's not that good, but it's at least one of the better ones you can play in the game. Iowa depends on the player skill. That is a good battleship. It may not quote-unquote have overmatch because it's 16-inch guns, but they hit hard. I don't know why people say Iowa and Montana are terrible, because they will destroy ships like mine. Absolutely. I'm not really afraid of the Lepanto unless it gets a lucky hit. And at this range, that's like rolling the dice. There's a Kitakaze here, so I switch to HE. Ping that target. And activate the speed boost. I don't know why this Kita is there, but apparently he is. Now, I normally just fire all guns. Look at how fast that HE is going. And even with my trademark crappy aim, I still hit him with one shell and set him on fire on the very first HE salve of the match. And that was one shell hit too. Now, for some battleships, you want to spam HE, but for the most part, you want to be sticking with AP if they are broadside. The only reason I fired that salve was because I had it ready for him. It did a good damage roll, 8,000 HE damage there, while dodging the torpedoes. And just need to aim just a little bit ahead. It's a little hard to aim with the AP. I think that's part of the issues I've seen, myself included, played it personally. Is since they fly so fast, you have to get used to faster shell flight trajectory times. And now I slow down the ship a little bit, because I don't want to be the first one there. I mean, we do have a lot of ships here. I'll switch back to HE because there's a high probability of me encountering destroyers. Yep, there's Takeda again. He's activated the speed boost, but it's going to be no match for this. Just fire full salvo there. Let's see if we can hit him harder this time. One shell hit again, because he disappeared at the very last second. You gotta love those mechanics, you know. You fire full salvo, disappears for 1 split second the moment after you click all fire, and it just says, nope, one hit for you. Because why not, you know? I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much for getting an 8,000 roll with HE only on a Iowa. It's actually a pretty high roll for this ship. Because the max theoretical is 4,250. I mean, I want to push in, but I gotta make sure I time it right. Because if I time it wrong, this ship will crumble. The armor is actually pretty serviceable though, but you don't want to really push it too hard. Because this ship can still get dev struck, or at least heavy damage, by other battleships. We'll take a pot shot of HE on the Izumo. That is a viable threat. One shell hit. Well, dang. Sometimes I'm just not very lucky with these dice rolls, are they? And we stay dark if we can. Good. I want to support the Chungmu a little bit while being near the Urbrick. Oh, if I switch to AP, I could probably do a really good strike on that Izumo. So I just need to wait 4 seconds. And then fire there. Let's see if we can get a good hit with AP here. Yeah, there we go, 7,300. That works. That's what the AP can do. And that's a hard ship to do good damage in. And there's an Oponto here as well. One of the enemy Kitas is escorting the Izumo. Good. Jumpman took him out. Chungmu hopefully doesn't eat a torp. Let's switch it back to HE again. And you just want to stay dark. You know, when you can help it, you don't want to be constantly detected in this ship. You want to take good shots if you can. You want to take what you can see. The lack of range is really not a problem for this ship by cruiser standards. Because all you have to do is just floor it and hit the turbo. That's how you get more range. So I'll activate that again. I want to close and chase down one of the Kitas. If I can help it. I am detected, so let's see where this Kita is. Start varying my turn a little bit. And this goes to show Lepanto / Iowa are not really aiming that good. Where is this Kita though? That is the question. I want to make sure I can help take them out because Kitas are very deadly. Ah, okay, so wait, all 3 Kitas are here? Wow. I didn't expect all of them to be there. And now he took some damage, so now the reload should be a little bit faster. I'm going to switch to AP. The hell with it. This Kita's not showing, so I'll just keep randomly maneuvering so it doesn't... Lepanto can't hit. You see, that's why you don't drive the Lepanto. He's at 13 kilometers. I'm not maneuvering much. and I can't hit for shit either. But he can't even hit me. The Lepanto fires all those shells, and he can't even hit. Now the Iowa, of course, can hit. He doesn't really hit that much, though, which is kind of weird. Sometimes you get wonky dispersion on the ship occasionally, and do 7,300. That's a good roll. Against a battleship, no less. Where is this enemy Kita? Okay, so we got those two. Good team support so far. That also helps. What is this enemy Kita doing? Is he going for the Georgia? Ah, there he is. Switch to HE. And have secondaries occasionally go off. Oh, yeah, double fire. You don't want that. And start maneuvering. Because the Prince Rubric is right there. And unfortunately, an Iowa shows up there. My secondaries are going to go wild on him. Try to nose in a bit to minimize some of the damage. This is not an ideal situation for a Carnot, but I'm going to take advantage of it with my above average secondaries. And also fire right about here. There we go, right in the Citadel. I had to do that really quickly, but basically I was aiming just a smidge ahead of the forward second gun. That's where the Citadel weakness is. If you have ridiculously high penetration with AP, you can Citadel Iowas at that range all day long if they're broadside. Back to HE. And slow it down a little bit. The quarter. Getting the main guns to there. Prince Rubric, you don't really want to... I'm going to put out that fire because I don't want to be constantly spotted. This is one of the few ships you don't want to go toe-to-toe with without support. So I'm just going to hold here. And I'll provide fire support for the team here. If I can. I am detected, so the destroyer is likely nearby. Start varying the speed a bit. Huh. Where is this destroyer? This destroyer has really bad torpedo aim, though. I just don't know where he is. That's the question. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna fire. Oh. The rock actually was closer than I thought. Well. Never mind. This match is actually going pretty well. It's actually better than I expected at first. I thought it was going to be where I had to constantly run the whole time, but apparently not. Now I can move in. I know the Rubric's near the corner. I'll start healing up just in case. I know that'll reduce my reload and use my last engine boost of the match. We'll see if I can chase down. The other Kita is far away, so now I can just start spamming HE on this German battle failure. The reason I call it battle failure is like, look, this guy can't do much against the Georgia and the Carnot firing on him. And he has such great armor, too, that even the Georgia with crap aim can probably kick his armor to the curb. Yep, just like that. He was angled. What's their great armor? What a joke. He can't... He fires one salvo and does like 2,000 damage. Any other battleship would have done 4 on that hit. Any other one. Even a Lepanto would have hit me harder than that. What a joke. It's a junk ship, is what I say. And with that, an MOG shot. I told you. All it takes is one shell hit, and they go boom. This is a very good destroyer killer under certain circumstances. No problems with HE on this ship. It's not the best HE spamming ship, no. It's not made to be. But in a pinch, HE does work on this ship. It's not useless. It's useful. Ostergotland has killed our Rubric, even though it has Hydro. No idea how that happened. But maybe it was like one shot or he got ambushed. Because that can happen sometimes even with Hydro. Let's save the last heal for now. And close on, go on downtown. Man, that Oster is really good. Either that or he's just incredibly lucky. Got a detonation gun kill on Arkita. That's okay though. We have so many ships and caps now that I don't think this is going to be an issue. I just have to move in with the Chungmu. I don't know why he's smoking up. There's really no need for it. Maybe he's doing it for friendlies, I guess. I guess that could help. But it blocks my vision. Oh well. So, it's actually pretty good. Deep water torps don't do anything to destroyers, but you see Chungmu and Pan Asian destroyers do that all the time. It's a waste of torpedoes. It doesn't do anything. The Oster got one somewhere there. I want to find this ship. He is within my detection range, so he is within 12 kilometers. Are you drunk? I guess so. I mean, this is actually an average match. I mean, it's not really good damage-wise, but I would say at least in terms of fun, if I had fun, yes, this was definitely a more pleasurable experience, especially since we're winning. It is kind of a little bit of a bummer it couldn't do as much damage, but I really wanted to hold fire for those Ketas. Sometimes you never know with destroyers if they're going to show up on your flank or not. So that's why I held fires for so long. Oh, speaking of which, secondaries. Yes, the secondaries actually can help. We actually got a hit. And boom, 2 hits for mediocre damage. Okay. Oh no. That's okay though. I can just rudder shift out of most of those. They don't do much damage. It has torpedo protection as well, so they're not really that deadly torpedo wise. There we go. 4 hits for 5,600. That's more like it. Oh no, he set me on fire. Anyway, just get a little more hits there. Yeah, he's down. Easy peasy. So that's basically a good Carnot match. I didn't do as much damage as I could have because I was holding fire for the destroyer threat. But let's see the team score real quick here. Oh, in the top 3. Look at what do you know. It is definitely an awful ship, you know. I have no problems setting ships on fire. None of the issues. 4 fires. I mean, they didn't do much fire damage because everyone damage cons the moment they get hit. So, and without premium account with Zulu flag, I would earn 280,911. With Zulu flag and the premium count running, I earned 454,366. Let me just do one last thing before I wrap this up here. The survivability. You get 19% torpedo damage reduction. Your armor scheme is above average in some sections. The front of the bow, yeah, I could get overmatched by battleships. And the front of the bow is 25 millimeters thick. The sides are above average for a cruiser. 180 millimeters on the casemate here, and the main battery guns are a whopping 305 millimeter on the front face shift for the survivability. The hull, the weak point of this ship, of course, is the armor belt. That's 30 millimeters on the side near the smokestacks, so you gotta watch for that. And for torpedo damage reduction, it's 19% here. And concealment, once you get the after mentioned concealment expert and concealment module, you get to a much more workable 12 kilometers. It's a little bit tricky to utilize in some situations, as I've shown in the match, but it's very interesting that a cruiser this massive can be relatively safe at 12 kilometers. So that's about does it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this, and next time when I do World of Warships I might cover a different boat. Hope this helps. This is Rigsters 30 signing off.